Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me. Now, I've waited till now to make this video, not because I didn't want to make the video, but because I wasn't quite sure what the actual facts were going to be. And I didn't want to sit here spewing bullshit off the top of my head that ended up not being pertinent. Now, if you've been paying attention to the news a bit, you've probably seen that Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate, or his Mar-a-Lago residence, was raided by the FBI on Monday. And that's what I want to talk about. Because you've got a lot of misinformation coming out there. There's some misinformation on the right, there's misinformation on the left, and I thought I would try to set the record straight for some of my viewers here. Now, it doesn't matter to me if you're a Republican or a Democrat. You should want the laws of the land to be followed, right? Especially when it's a crime. Back in 2018, I believe it was, could have been 2019, Donald Trump signed a bill into law that increased the penalties and what equaled a crime in not returning things to the National Archives. That can include anything from just gifts given by other nations to national security information, paperwork, and things like that. This information can be very serious. So when Donald Trump did that, I thought, hey, that's probably a good idea. But it appears Donald Trump has broken that law himself. You see, when he left in 2021, in early 2021, he took a bunch of information with him. Boxes and boxes of classified, some of it national security interest. And he took it. Whether he meant to or not, that wasn't my concern at the time when we found out about this earlier this year, back in January of 2022. But what's important here is the fact that he did break the law. No matter what his supporters are trying to tell you, Donald Trump did break the law. His own law, for that matter. But the fact is, presidents have done this throughout time, right? As long as I can remember, as far back as I can remember, at least Bill Clinton and George Bush both took things from the White House that they weren't supposed to. The National Archives asked for them back. The National Archives received them back. So earlier this year, the National Archives, of course, announced publicly that they are missing these documents. And in June of this year, a subpoena was used to subpoena the records, and Trump's people sent 15 boxes of information to the National Archives. After that, it came to the knowledge of the FBI and to the Department of Justice that the Trump people had not turned over all the documents. In fact, there was a whistleblower from within Mar-a-Lago that informed the DOJ of these extra documents that they did not hand over. That is why there was a search warrant issued, supported by the DOJ, and approved by a federal judge to receive or to obtain these products, whether they were in his safe or in his home or on his phone. So that's what happened, right? The reason they had to do the search warrant is because the first time when they did it nicely with a subpoena and asked them and requested them nicely to return the paperwork, Trump and his people refused. They did not turn over all the documentation, and they knew they didn't turn over the documentation. And based on evidence by a whistleblower, they obtained a search warrant and they went to get it. That's it, and that's all. Now, is there a chance that Trump could see some kind of penalty? I'm sure there's a possibility, right? But if he hasn't faced a penalty for anything else he's done, he's not going to face a penalty for this. Right. Now, when he took the stuff, if he took the stuff, say, on accident, that would be one thing, right? But when he doesn't give it all over back in June, when he had the opportunity to, it makes you wonder why he took the stuff, right? So that is what happened on that story. I don't want anybody, people on the left saying he's going to prison. Probably not. There's people on the right saying they want to start a civil war because he might get arrested. That's not going to happen either, most likely. But the facts of the case are that Donald Trump did break the law. Donald Trump broke his own law. And the FBI raided his Mar-a-Lago residence because of it. The further and further removed we get from the Trump presidency, I'm realizing just how bad it was. Not just because of things Donald Trump said or did, but he's got people that will support him no matter what he does. He can break every law known to man, and they would allow him to be president again. They would vote for him. The evangelical movement loved the man, even though he's had an affair on every single one of his wives multiple times, on at least two of them. One of them while his wife was pregnant. Anyhow, that's all I got for you on this story. There's not really much to it. Um, there is the possibility that the warrant will be unsealed and the property receipt will be unsealed later today. Um, I think the Trump organization had up until 2 o'clock Central Time today, and I have not seen information on whether or not he allowed it to be unsealed. But if he does let it be unsealed, tomorrow I'll bring you another story about it, and I'll let you know what exactly they took and what evidence they had for the warrant. And I also have a story I'm going to bring to you tomorrow about Beto O'Rourke, if I can get the video. Um, it's a wild one. Um, and it should be interesting. Anyways, have a great day. I'll see you down the road.